Welcome to Money Veterans. I'm Monica. Sometimes, and the most important changes happen quietly, far from headline and far from the noise. Today, we take a step back and look at India through publicly available economic data and long-term structural trends. No forecasts, no recommendations, just a wider perspective on what the numbers show. Less noise, more strategy. According to public international datasets, India's economy is estimated around $4 trillion in 2025. In PPP terms, some datasets place the figure near 17 trillion. Over recent years, public sources have reported growth rates in a range of approximately 6 to 7%. These figures reflect historical reporting, not projections. They are linked in public discussions to long-term themes such as investment, consumption, and policy continuity, without implying any market outcome. Infrastructure. Capital expenditure plays a major role in long-term capacity. Highways, airports, renewable projects, industrial corridors, and logistics platforms do not move markets overnight. They build capacity quietly, steadily, over time. India has also built digital infrastructure, Aadhaar, UPI, India Stack, and ONDC, platforms that reduce friction, lower costs, and help a large economy operate at scale. Demographics matter. India has a young population with a median age around 28. According to United Nations estimates, India's population is above 1.4 billion people, the largest of any country in the world. This scale shapes long-term demographic conditions, but does not predict market outcomes. Public studies suggest that middle-income participation may expand over time.
Hello, I'm Edward. Chapter 2, Markets in Motion. Public estimates place India's equity market around $2 trillion, depending on the data set. Indices like Nifty and Bank Nifty have shown varied movements over recent years, as publicly reported. Historically, some sectors have displayed characteristics linked to quality or momentum, purely descriptive, not a strategy. Markets move over time, shaped by long-term forces, not single numbers. Foreign flows have been mixed, while domestic participation continues to rise. Public initiatives are often discussed in economic contexts, and the announced inclusion of Indian government securities in global bond benchmarks has drawn international attention. Policy continuity matters, and according to official communication, interest rates were adjusted in 2025 within an inflation targeting framework. These are macro observations, not opinions. Risks. Public analyses highlight several risks, including valuations, employment challenges, global shocks, commodity prices, and growth cycles. These risks remind us that long-term outcomes are never guaranteed. Understanding risks is part of responsible macro thinking and part of any balanced perspective. Markets evolve, economies shift, and uncertainty is always present. Chapter 3. Sectors often discussed in long-term economic conversations. Financial institutions support credit expansion, digital lending, and infrastructure financing. Engineering and construction benefit from long-term investment programs. India is a major hub for IT services, cloud, cybersecurity, and AI capabilities, with many global capability centers and a dynamic startup ecosystem. As incomes rise and urbanization expands, consumption and mobility evolve over time.
Chapter 4. India and the World. First, India and China. In global discussions, India and China are often compared from an economic perspective only. Their profiles differ, and India is increasingly viewed as part of a broader diversification in global supply chains. This comparison is structural, not competitive, and does not imply outcomes. Economies evolve over time, shaped by policy, demographics, and global conditions, not by simple comparisons. Second, India and United States. Cooperation between India and the United States plays a role in technology, services, and investment. Public reporting highlights partnerships in areas such as digital capabilities and knowledge-based industries. These relationships contribute to India's positioning in the global economy over the long term. But cooperation is one factor among many, not a guarantee of results. Third, India and Europe. European companies are publicly reported to be active in infrastructure, renewable energy, and industrial projects in India. Global integration continues to evolve through trade, investment, and technology. These dynamics are long-term in nature and often develop gradually rather than suddenly. Global relationships shape context, not market performance. Energy and transition. A key long-term challenge is balancing growth, energy security, and renewable transition. India continues to manage rising demand while exploring more sustainable solutions over time. Energy systems take years to evolve and require investment, capacity, and planning. This transition is complex, gradual, and part of the broader macro story. Uncertainty. No long-term trajectory is ever guaranteed. Public analyses highlight challenges in employment, education, logistics, and infrastructure. Economies face cycles, shocks, and global pressures that cannot be predicted with certainty. A balanced perspective recognizes both potential and uncertainty. At the same time, I am Maya, and this is Money Veterans.
Final takeaway. When we step back from short-term noise, public macro data highlights a combination of growth, digital development, demographics, and structural reforms. This is not a forecast, not a prediction, and not a guarantee. It is a way to understand long-term forces shaping the environment. The macro scale is often highlighted in public economic discussions. Money Veterans. Less noise, more strategy. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to activate the notification bell. See you soon.